Let's begin by going over exactly what we'll cover in this video. First, we'll examine why maintaining a constant body temperature is so important. Next, we'll look at the thermoregulatory center in the brain and how it monitors temperature. Then we'll explore the body's responses to being too hot. Finally, we'll discover the mechanisms that help us warm up when we're too cold. The human body needs to keep its internal temperature at around 37 degrees Celsius. This is the optimum temperature for enzymes in the body to function properly. If body temperature rises or falls too much, enzymes may stop working effectively or even become permanently damaged. This can disrupt vital chemical reactions and potentially be life-threatening. To maintain this precise temperature, the body must balance the energy gained through respiration with the energy lost to the environment. This balance is controlled by the thermoregulatory center in the brain. Located in a region called the hypothalamus, this center contains receptors that are sensitive to the temperature of blood flowing through the brain. The thermoregulatory center also receives information from temperature receptors in the skin. These provide early warning of changes in external temperature before they affect the core body temperature. This system works as a classic example of a negative feedback mechanism. When body temperature deviates from the normal range, responses are triggered that counteract the change. When temperature receptors detect that core body temperature is too high, the thermoregulatory center acts as a coordination center. It processes this information and automatically triggers appropriate effectors. These effectors, such as sweat glands, produce responses that counteract the change in temperature. Similarly, when temperature receptors detect that core body temperature is too low, the thermoregulatory center triggers different effectors, such as muscles, to produce responses that warm the body. Some effectors work antagonistically. One effector heats and another cools, working simultaneously to achieve a very precise temperature. This mechanism allows for a more sensitive response than a simple on-off system. Let's look more closely at the specific responses produced by effectors to counteract changes in body temperature. When you're too hot, several mechanisms activate to help cool you down. First, sweat is produced by sweat glands and evaporates from the skin. This evaporation process transfers energy to the environment, cooling the body. Second, the blood vessels supplying the skin dilate, becoming wider. This is called vasodilation. Vasodilation allows more blood to flow close to the surface of the skin. This helps transfer heat energy from deeper tissues to the skin where it can be lost to the surroundings. These cooling mechanisms are particularly effective when the air is dry, promoting evaporation, and when there is a temperature difference between the body and the environment. When you're too cold, a different set of responses occur to conserve and generate heat. First, the hairs on your skin stand up. This is often called goosebumps and creates a layer of trapped air that acts as insulation. Second, sweat production stops. This prevents heat loss through evaporation. Third, blood vessels supplying skin capillaries constrict, becoming narrower. This is called vasoconstriction. Vasoconstriction reduces blood flow to the skin surface. This minimizes heat loss and helps maintain the temperature of vital internal organs. Fourth, when you're very cold, your muscles contract rapidly and involuntarily in a process called shivering. This increased muscle activity generates heat through respiration, helping to warm the body. These heating and cooling mechanisms work together to maintain our core temperature within a narrow range, despite varying external conditions. Both sets of responses are automatic. We don't consciously control them. They're controlled by the autonomic nervous system, which regulates many unconscious bodily functions. Understanding temperature regulation helps us appreciate the sophisticated control systems in our bodies. This homeostatic mechanism demonstrates how different parts of the body, the brain, skin, blood vessels, and muscles work together to maintain the stable internal conditions necessary for life.